February 1st, 2003. Space Shuttle Columbia is now re-entering Earth's atmosphere with 7 people on board. But at what cost? As you can see here, the shuttle is spinning uncontrollably, and ultimately it would soon burn up and be destroyed in the atmosphere. In which this is a recreational documentary where we understand the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster, and we will ask, why did it happen? Why did it end in tragedy? And what is still left for the legacy of the 7 astronauts' lives that were lost, even in today's standards? And around this time we will ask, how, what, and why there was a fireball falling. February 1st, 2003. Armageddon and hell will break loose for the astronauts in space. The Space Shuttle Columbia disaster, otherwise known as the STS-107 disaster, was a failed mission, or should I say a mission ended in disaster in February 1st, 2003, where the Space Shuttle Columbia broke apart when re-entering Earth's atmosphere, killing its crew. Just 16 days earlier, on January 16th, Columbia launched, in which it carried the Space Hab, which is inside of the shuttle's payload bay. But little did they know that a piece of damage from the external tank will hit the shuttle's wing, and that was it. Here's some background information about the entire disaster, and here it is. In January 16th, 2003, the liftoff occurred, and a few seconds later, a piece of insulating foam from the external tank of the shuttle broke off and landed on the left wing, ultimately breaking a hole. And yeah, the crew didn't notice it, and so up until then, they were unaware of what's happening next. But regardless, only Mission Control will know about the foam hit, and yet the crew were unknown at the time. Speaking of the crew, there were 7 astronauts, and they are the following: Richard Husband, Commander; Willie McCool, Pilot; Michael Anderson, Mission Specialist; David Brown, Mission Specialist; Kalpana Chawla, the first Indian astronaut and mission specialist; Laurel Sultan Clark, mission specialist; and finally Ilan Ramon, the first Israeli astronaut and payload specialist. And right now, what you see are 7 astronauts, all with a legacy to go down with in the Columbia. And that was it. The crew of the Columbia consisted of 7 members. Those members are Commander Richard Husband, Pilot William McCool, or Willie McCool, Payload Commander Mike Anderson, Payload Specialist David Brown, Payload Specialist Kalpana Chawla, the first Indian astronaut, Payload Specialist Laurel Sultan Clark, and finally Payload Specialist Ilan Ramon, the possibly very first Israeli astronaut. Now, since Ilan Ramon is Israeli, I do not want you guys in the comments fighting about the entire conflict that is going on. Do not talk about that in the comments. This is just an educational video's sake, please. The entire mission was directed by Leroy Kane, in which he had grown paranoid ever since the shuttle launch, since the foam strike. But don't worry, cause in the middle of the 16 days of the mission, the entire astronauts did science experiments in the Space Hab, in which they were groundbreaking to the laws of physics. And here's what they are right now. The entire crew spent 16 days in orbit, doing science research, testing the space hab, conducting science experiments like if ants can withstand the gravity of space, and even attempting to grow plants. And eventually, February 1st was the day to end. But it's now time for the Columbia to re-enter Earth's atmosphere, in which it is happening right now. In the following hours, the Columbia now zooms through the Earth's atmosphere, and already there is some vibrations and shaking inside of the flight deck where the 4 astronauts are, and the same thing goes for the mid-deck where the remaining 3 are. But for now, Columbia is about to enter Earth's atmosphere, where hell will break loose. The crew recorded one final video from the shuttle cockpit, and that was the ever last video. And at that time, flight director Leroy Kane was already on his nerves. And if the shuttle had went through something wrong, well, you know, the consequences are heavy. Right now, Kane's anxiety will continue to grow. As Columbia enters Earth's atmosphere, plasma begins to form on the shuttle's heat shield. And yet, the worst is yet to come. Even more worse, the left wing of the Columbia is already beginning to heat up, in which inside a fiery orange glow is emitted. But for Kane's anxiety, more is yet to come. As mission control tracks, Kane had forgotten something. The shuttle has an open hole in the left wing. As you can see here on this diagram, the damage ended up here, in which a hole was blown through. But yet, for the Space Shuttle Columbia and its 7 crew members, death is coming, and hell is now about to break loose on the Earth's only atmosphere. Then, a few minutes later, the shuttle's left wing began to break apart. There were some alarms inside of the spacecraft, ultimately causing the crew to slow the shuttle down, but it was too late. The shuttle going so fast in re-entry, it was so hard for them to, slow it down. And eventually, the Columbia space shuttle crew and the entire space shuttle broke apart 37 miles or 60 kilometers over Texas. And eventually, the crew cabin depressurized.
Which happens frequently when it's going to have a good weather landing in Florida. It comes right over North Texas. We've done this before, sometimes at night. It's spectacular. This time, though, as you can see, replaying once again, this videotape of the space shuttle. Columbia on its way to
By 9 o'clock, the Columbia had already burst into smithereens, and that was it for the flagship of the Space Shuttle program, in which 7 people were killed, and mission control now looks like a crime scene that cannot be cleaned. Kane's anxiety had came. The worst had already came. And it was done. And with that, the pain is gone already. The astronauts were then immortalized in tributes, such as this one.
There have been other people who've flown as the commander on their second flight. In my case, I see it as God's blessing. I couldn't be happier with the people that I've got on my crew. We all have had a tremendous time, and so they have made it very easy for me, and for that I owe them a tremendous debt of gratitude as well.
A lot of life is about doing what you think is the right thing to do and what inspires you or motivates you at the time. And that's just kind of been my motto, I guess, in life. Not necessarily to live for 30 years from now, but to live for now and follow life's path as it comes along.
This is one of a few research flights that we've had in a long time. And I think for someone interested in space science like myself, it's really the dream flight.
Well, we are a very junior crew. There's a total of 3 space flights between us. And not having been to space before, because I'm one of the people that hasn't been, I think we'll have to wait to see how we get on orbit, how it all works out.
Flying small airplanes, that's the big thing I enjoy. Following rivers, flying pretty terrain, going for long cross countries for a few days. That's probably the best thing I have gotten out of space flight.
I'm not really worried about our mission. I think we're well prepared to take care of the things that are the most likely. If there's something dreadfully wrong, appendicitis or that kind of a thing, then we can come back to Earth if we need to.
When I was announced as the one to go, I was happy, very happy.
In the wake of the disaster, the entire shuttle program was grounded for 2 years, and eventually, due to risks, the entire shuttle program came to an end in 2011, ending it with the final space shuttle mission, STS-135. Hey, 2011, my birth year. So yes, we learned about the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster and how it had took 7 lives. And for that we say good night, good luck, and good morrow, and thanks for watching Disasters of Yesteryear Season 2, Episode 7.